Nicola here with Teresa, waving
Hi,
away.
everyone. Good to see you today.
Good to see you. Awesome. We are live indeed. And today we're looking at live price prediction for Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, and ADA. But we also want to go over indicators, specifically the MACD, that can help us predict the market bottom and the market top. So as we speak, we're bolting. So love for you to like the stream as we get ready. So we're going to go Bitcoin, then we'll talk about the indicators, Ethereum, XRP, ADA, and a little warning about weekend trading, because we are in, what would you say, Teresa? What would be the word? Not danger. I don't want to be alarmist, but we are in cautious territory with this breakout happening as we go into the weekend, when volume starts to leave the market in a few hours, right?
Yeah, caution is a good word. Weekend trading always just has really low volume. Sunday afternoon, we get the CME opening in North America, which can really drive the price one direction or other. So you just always want to be really cautious if you're trading on the weekend.
Yeah, definitely. And we have done a video specifically on weekend trading. So make sure that you have a look at that. So let us go over to the Bitcoin. And here is the Bitcoin chart. Beautiful daily. This pink line at the top here, which corresponds with the Fibonacci golden ratio of the market structure. The pink line at the bottom, we've been trading in this for almost 3 months. We have broken out of it on the daily. If we come down onto the 4 hourly, we have a 4-hour candle close above it, Teresa.
Nice.
So time to enter along. And remember, all of our targets are the same. We've got the CME gap at 41,925, which we just closed. Bam. Then we've got the daily bull flag. If we go back to the daily bull flag that has been forming. This one here, this nice long here, we had the bull flag come down, and then it broke out here, and that target is 48,465. So that's a nice place to take some profit if you're in a long, if we start to hit resistance. Then we've got the bigger triangle, the monthly pattern at 49,528. And then of course we've got the W at 53343. And Teresa, before we start talking about the trades and the entry, can we tell whether the bottom is in or not?
Well, right now, most of the predictors are telling us, most of the indicators that people would use for bottom prediction are saying the bottom is in, the bottom is behind us. So I think we can start trading differently now that we know we're on the upswing. I use very different strategies on whether or not we're behind the market bottom or whether we're not sure we're at the market bottom yet. So yeah, for me, it totally changes my trading strategy.
Yeah, totally. Because like we've had so many U-turns while we've been in between these pink lines that I changed my strategy. Instead of leaving them open day after day, I'd close them as soon as we would hit resistance and then get back in once we got down to the bottom of the retracement, because there was too many people losing because of reversals. They were in longs and it went the other way. They were in shorts and it went the other way, right? So let us talk about the indicators that tell you whether the bottom is in or not and when to buy and sell. And specifically, we're going to start with the MACD that Teresa's actually been talking about on this channel for weeks now, that she's been watching while we have been in this cycle, and it's starting to get really exciting. I've allowed you to share your screen, Teresa.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so let's talk about the MACD to start with. The MACD is an indicator a lot of people don't pay attention to because it's a lagging indicator, but it is one of the most solid indicators we have in the world of Bitcoin, and it works for Ethereum too, to tell us whether the top or the bottom is behind us. And you can go back to the very first days of Bitcoin coming onto trading platforms. And this, this indicator has been rock solid every time as a lagging indicator to tell us whether the top or the bottom is behind us. So I drew a up-down line in the market here, right? And if you look at, we've got a market peak, and then 3 to 4 weeks later, or in this case, it's 5 weeks later, we get a bearish cross on the MACD. So usually when they start to even converge like this, you know the top is behind us. Okay. Similarly, let me just make this a little bigger. Did not cross through here, but we've got, you know, it wobbled together here. But once we got the bullish cross, we knew the bottom was behind us. Okay. So we hit the absolute, whoops. Let me move my up down line because it's just the easiest way to see this. We got the market bottom. 5 weeks later, we got the bullish cross, right? And
So that was the last bull cycle in 19.
That was the last bull cycle. Let's look at this bull cycle right here. Sorry, I've got to slide to the left. Otherwise, the logarithmic scale really has it not show well, right? But we got, even in the local tops, right? We got, you know, we bottomed here. We got the bullish cross. We topped. We got the bearish cross. We bottomed here. We got the bullish cross, right? So the MACD is super solid. It has never failed in confirming whether we're at the top of the bottom, right? So remember, we hit the top over here, and one of the most accurate predictors of Bitcoin top is the pi cycle indicator. Let me pull that up, right? We know when it crosses the top is, we're either at the top or the top is behind us, right? But if we look at the MACD, it predicted it within days. You know, it was a confirmation that the pi cycle indicator was correct. We got the bearish cross here, right?
So the pi cycle, you're saying, is around about the time of it, like you start to see the crossing about to happen, so we know it's coming up, and then the MACD confirms it.
Our pi cycle indicator crossed on May 15th. Okay, so that's when a lot of people on YouTube started saying, look, guys, we're at least at a local top, because when the pi cycle indicator crosses, the price is going down, right? We got the, oh, isn't that interesting? I thought it was after, but we got the bearish cross on the MACD on April 19th. Right. Isn't that interesting? I hadn't checked that before. I just saw that now. So the MACD predicted we were at the top before the pi cycle indicator did. Okay. And I just saw that this moment, guys. So I'm just like, that's like, oh, I never even noticed that. Usually the MACD might lag by a few days or a week for when you see it. Okay. So look what's going on with the MACD right now. Usually when the lines are converging like this, we're about to get across. Now, occasionally they wobble together for a while. So this isn't a full confirmation, but I'm fully expecting to see it this week's candle close that we might see the bullish cross on the MACD, right? The other thing we're really waiting for here is this one, the Bitcoin miner hash ribbons. And, you know, I've changed my view on this as an indicator since listening to Willy Woo the other day on one of his indicators, because this used to be one of the most solid indicators, right? When we got the buy signal, we knew bull run on, go, right? But historically for Bitcoin, the miners had a significant influence on the price of Bitcoin. The miners were dominant holders. Like the miner community as a whole was the biggest Bitcoin whale that we had. So when things were going on in the miner community, we knew that that would really affect the price action. But now that we have more and more whales coming on, more and more big institutions investing in Bitcoin, I do believe this is still an indicator to watch. It may no longer be the dominant indicator to predict the price tops and the price bottoms. But usually when we get this cross here, we know the price is coming down. When it crosses again, we know the price is coming up. And we normally get a buy signal when the recapitulation gets strong enough, right? So again, if you look at this indicator, that cross is coming any day. We probably see that at the end of this weekly candle close. So lots of reasons to think that the bottom is behind us, unless these indicators start doing really wonky things. And we're now moving into the bull cycle.
Yeah. And then the DIDIBAM as well. Does that help with price predictions?
Let's look at the DIDIBAM. Thank you for the reminder on that one. And where did I pull that one up? Here's the DIDIBAM on the daily. This is a paid indicator. It is worth every frickin' penny, I'll tell you, because this has been helping me really nail my entries, really nail my exits. I look at this on the 1 minute, on the 1 hour, on the daily. This is an indicator invented by Didi Taihutu of the Bitcoin family, and he uses the money raised from selling this indicator for charities. So he's actually, if you use our affiliate link down below, if you decide you want to use the DIDIBAM, he will make a contribution to the infrastructure fund here for our community here in Costa Rica. We do things like build roads for the local community. I know that doesn't sound sexy, but roads really support the local economy. But look at the DIDIBAM. When this center line is low and the bands within which it's trading is low, that's when you want to enter, right? And the main point of entry on the DIDIBAM is when the green candles start to go above this yellow step line. This yellow step line is one of the most significant things, right? So this gave us a really clear bottom indicator signal right here. If you look at the DIDIBAM on the daily, it's like, no, we're heading up now. And you'll now notice that the DIDIBAM is bouncing off the step line. It's not crossing back over. Clear signal that we're in the bull trend, right? There's a lot of details on how to use the DIDIBAM properly. He gives extensive tutorials on how to use it. Once you learn how to use this indicator, it predicts bottoms and tops a lot sooner than Pi Cycle Indicator or MACD does, which is really cool. Because when you enter a trade, you know, a week before the rest of the market, even if it's just with a small position to start to solidify your position that you can now scale up as the stronger indicators start to come in, that can make the difference in huge amounts of profit. Because if you can scale your leverage up as you move along, that's the difference between a trade that makes you $4,000 or $5,000 and a trade that makes you $50,000 or $100,000, depending on the level that you have in your trading account, right?
Yeah.
Anything you want to add on that, Nicola?
Yeah, well, one more indicator would be the fractal of 2020 Saturn retrograde, and we have done a tremendous amount on this channel, so I am not going to belabor it. But down the bottom here on the purple, we've been talking
you're not sharing your screen right now, so we need to go over to share your screen. We should probably talk about the Williams Vix Fix too, because it's another solid indicator of tops and bottoms.
Totally. I'm going to do that once I get onto the price of Bitcoin here. So, yeah. So if you've been following our channel, and if not, it's time to subscribe. We've been following Saturn retrograde since the 23rd of May. And this is just very, very briefly, that Saturn rules finances, and often when Saturn goes retrograde, you see dumps in the stock market, and it is affecting the crypto market as well. So on the bottom in the purple background, right here where I've got my mouse, under where it's got beginning of the bull run, I've got my mouse. In 2020, we started seeing a slow incline, and then we shot up and created this Bart Simpson pattern and came all the way down. Now, as far as the dates are concerned, up above in the black, since we've literally been following the same fractal as last year, we've been coiling up, and I predicted around about the 2nd of August we would start to see more upward price action, and we did. And then I have been saying that somewhere around the 8th to the 10th, maybe the 12th of August, we may, if we're repeating last year's fractal, see a Bart Simpson. However, that may actually be happening sooner. So Bart Simpson, if you don't know, is where we get a sharp increase to the upside. We get consolidation sideways to the point where everybody's just going, oh, break up or down already. Like it gets to the energetically, it kind of feels like, when's this going to stop going sideways? And just when you've had it too frustrated, then it just dumps down very suddenly, and it creates the head top of Bart Simpson and his zigzaggy here. So you said that the MACD, Teresa, was showing around about the end of the weekend, beginning of next week, we may get that cross, and that is corresponding with the dates I've been predicting based on Saturn retrograde, right?
Yeah, lots of parallel indicators here saying, I think the bottom is probably behind us at this point.
Yeah.
And that doesn't, like, don't go all in or anything, guys. Okay. You still want to trade cautiously. There's still going to be up and down movement. We're probably still going to be making much bigger patterns within the smaller patterns. But I think we're now in the point where we can start to be really confident that we're generally trending upwards. Even the Bart Simpson is probably not going to see the same kind of lows as what we saw behind us.
Yeah, and also the question now is, where's a good entry point for this long that could take us all the way up to 53,343? These are all the targets we've been talking about in our live streams over the last couple of weeks. They're the big, the big triangle. Then there's the W, and then there's the daily bull flag. So write all of those down, because these are take profit areas. But if we look at the last indicator that can predict bottoms and tops is the CM Williams Vix Fix, which you can actually find for free on TradingView in the library section. And on the weekly, if we go to the weekly, when everybody was calling all these green candles down the bottom here on the CM Williams, not everybody, but there were people going, we're going down, we're going to 20,000, we could go to 18,000. Some people were even saying we could go down to 9,000 for a price of Bitcoin, which to me are people that have not traded the cycles, the 4-year cycles, because we don't go lower than the last market top in the last bull cycle. So it was never going to be on the cards that we would go lower than 19,500 or 20,000. So that was never going to happen. But when people were calling that, look at these green candles week after week after week, signifying that the bottom is in and we're going to be turning to the upside. So on price action, that was all of this action here that was happening under 33,800. So all of that action there, while everybody was going on and on about it, CM Williams Vix Fix was saying, any week now we're going to turn to the upside. And of course, that is exactly what we did. So you want these indicators on your chart, the MACD, the DIDIBAM, and the CM Williams Vix Fix, and then going over to the Pi Cycle indicator, so that you don't get caught up trading FUD. You're actually doing good technical analysis and you're getting good entry points. So let's talk about entry points right now. And I just apologize, we're in rainy season here. My headset's not working. So you might hear a little bit of rain in the background. So see this pink line here? This is the top of the line that we've been trading. We've not been able to break above. Not only have we got 2 1-hour candles above it, we've actually got a 4-hour candle clearing it, and we've created a higher high. We've closed the CME gap, and now we're going up to those targets that we talked about. So if we bring in the Ichimoku Cloud, the Ichimoku Cloud is showing over here green. So we are heading towards a significant bull run. And guess what the date of that is, Teresa?
Is that right in alignment with your fractal? I'm just curious.
7th of August to the 8th of August.
Okay, perfect. Yeah.
Which is what you're calling on the MACD and what I'm calling on Saturn retrograde. So because we're going into low volume, we've already kind of met a bit of resistance here. We kind of need to get above 43,300, in my opinion, and trade above that price for a while, so that we know that we're not going to come back down into the pattern. But at the moment, with the breakout, most breakouts for Bitcoin will come back and retrace to the support line. And because this is such an important resistance line, we've now got to confirm it as support. It wouldn't surprise me if we do come back down over the weekend and trade above this, maybe bounce off it a little bit and create some kind of consolidation at that previous resistance level. What do you think on that?
Yeah, that sounds solid to me. I think you know, part of this is we've got to wait and see, but I could see that being a very likely scenario that will play out.
Yeah. So what I've done is I've put in a stop loss in profit here at about 41,500, I think it is, can't remember exactly, because if we do come back down and hit that, we'll probably go below it. You can re-enter the trade, and that's just me, because we're going into weekend trading. Now, what you need to remember about weekend trading is price manipulation, no volume. However, every now and then on a Friday night, we get Freaky Friday. And Freaky Friday is when the Chinese Asian market.
That's a technical term that Nicola coined for trading, Freaky Friday.
We have to write a book about it. Freaky Friday is just like, because normally on a Friday to a Saturday morning, the price will be around about the lowest it's been all week, or it will do a price correction as the New York market closes and as the CME, Chicago Mercantile Exchange, closes on Friday afternoon here in US time. So on Friday, there's been a couple of Fridays where I've just tuned into the market, right? Because normally I take Friday off and Saturday off for trading because of that. And then all of a sudden I'm seeing it going, and I'm seeing volume coming in, and it's going up and up and up and up. And I'm going, what the heck's going on? It's Friday. Who the heck is trading on a Friday, which is a Saturday, is an early Saturday morning for the Asian market. So just be aware that that could happen tonight in your trades. So I would be setting really tight alarms or alerts on TradingView on your phone if you're going out for the evening, or if you're at home on your computer, leave your computer open and have several alerts above and several alerts below, so you can monitor your trades, because there might be an opportunity to ride the wave on that one. But the Ichimoku is showing a little bit of sideways action, potentially coming back down to reconfirm this previous big resistance line. Not only, Teresa, this is not only a resistance line for where are we? Let's go to the weekly. Not only for this particular market, you know, that we've been trading in during the bear trend, but also over here to the left, as we were going into that bull cycle, we hit it a couple of times and got rejected off of it, came back up, right? So this is a big support line, a big resistance line that we have just broken through.
Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah.
You know, when you start to break through those lines, and right now it's not looking like it's a wick. Like there's enough volume to, you know, have a solid candle or two in that zone. Yeah. So we'll wait and see. If it turns out to be a wick, we might change our dissertation on that.
Exactly. So if you guys are not in this trade already, I would just be watching for a retracement, in which case you want to go down to the 15-minute on the Ichimoku, and you want to look to see, is there a possible retracement? And it's possible that we might get one within the next couple of hours. And then I go over to the 4 EMA on the 15-minute, and I just watch if any of these cross over, right? So we've got blue on top, then green, then yellow, then red. If you're new to the channel, hopefully you've subscribed. We're talking about this 4 EMA at Filicone. When we're stacked up on this indicator, blue, green, yellow, red, which you would need to put into your settings, here you want to change the length to 8, the rest stay the same, and then the style, blue, green, yellow, red, that is bullish long. When it flips here, where we've got red at the top, red, yellow, green, blue, so it's in the reverse, that is a short, right? So what we want to look on the smaller time frames are any crosses for any potential short-term retracement. So the 15 minutes looking bullish, 5 minute looking bullish, 3 minute looking bullish, 1 minute. Okay, so we've got a little bit of a cross here. So, and we're seeing a little bit of a price action. So what I'm talking about is using the smaller time frames to find out when we've got a little bit of a cross, because that's an indication that you may get, you know, a few pips lower on your entry point, right? You wouldn't enter if this was here where it's got blue, green, yellow, red. This is not where you would enter the trade, right? You would wait a little while, you start seeing it crossing, and then you go, okay, cool, this is crossing. So this might be a good entry point, and you might put a small amount in to begin with, just in case we get that retracement over the weekend back to the pink line. And then you can just dollar cost average down. And obviously you wouldn't want too high a leverage, maybe 8 to 10, because you need a liquidation point way below it so you don't get liquidated out in that retracement. Does that make sense, Teresa?
Yeah, solid.
Brilliant. So that is Bitcoin. Ethereum led this breakout, folks, which is what we said, like Wednesday's live stream was all about Ethereum starting to lead the way.
Yeah, we can start watching Ethereum as an indicator for the next few weeks, if not for the full month, because Ethereum, I think, is going to be leading Bitcoin this whole month, looking at how solid it looks on the Bitcoin comparison.
Yeah. And guys, if you're excited about us being back on the bull run and getting rid of all of those bearish, fuddy talks out there, please like the video. That helps us out. We are a young channel. We're very new. And even though we're growing fast, the algorithm really looks to see if people are liking our videos, to see whether there's enough value for YouTube to show our videos to other people. And we've been calling a lot of stuff well before some of the bigger guys out there, just because of our solid technical analysis and the different indicators that we use, that you probably, if you're watching other channels, you'll know that we are using some indicators that nobody else is using.
Yeah, you'll probably see everybody talking about the MACD in 3 days. You heard it here first, guys.
So exactly. Well, a lot of them, some of them talk about the MACD, but the Williams Vix Fix isn't, I don't know anybody doing that. And some people use the Ichimoku, but they don't tutorial it, and we teach you how to read it and how to work with it on this channel. So that is worth a like, and it's also worth a subscription. So here we go. Ethereum, we've broken out of all of our big patterns, our triangle, our W. There are the targets. The big triangle is 3265, and then the W is 3,300. Now with Ethereum, if you recall, Teresa, when we broke up to 3,000 and everybody said it was a psychological level, it's going to retrace at 3,000. So there were people putting shorts in, and it took off and it did not retrace for 4 weeks back down under 3,000.
Yeah, lots of people got wrecked on that one. I do not short a psychological level. like it might be a point to take profit on your long, but I think the people who are overconfident on that one, learned a valuable lesson, because sometimes the market has a mind of its own, right? And we can't underestimate the power now of over-the-counter buyers, or just the consumers, not the traders, but the consumers of Ethereum and the consumers of Bitcoin and XRP can have a significant effect. And so they start hearing in the news it's hitting all-time highs, they might be going in and buying it, right? So that's a risky proposition, shorting at a psychological level.
Yeah. And also we've got good news coming up about the start of the 2.0 for Ethereum, right? That there's some interesting developments that we've been learning about month on month. And now finally we're getting up to the date. And I think I saw Carl, he said he believed that news was what started the pump in the first place, and then Bitcoin started to follow. So the point being, if we get up into 3,000, it's possible we could shoot off again for 3 weeks without any significant retracement, or we might create some consolidation here because we just didn't get it in the last bull run, right? So watch for that. So how I'm trading that as far as a strategy is that I'll take profit at these levels that I've got here, and I might leave 10 or 20% of the trade in, just in case we blast through and don't consolidate and go up, and then I would just add to that trade and dollar cost average up. Does that make sense? Yeah. Cool. Sorry guys, we've got massive tropical rains here. So there you go. So entry point for Ethereum, if you're not already in the Ethereum, is the same as Bitcoin. Have a look at the retracement. We've broken up above this golden triangle here, right? So a golden triangle, the golden triangle. I trick the golden triangle.
It is the golden triangle.
Yeah, the golden ratio. So we broke up over here on this bull pennant. We came back down and tested it as support. We sneaked down under it, and then we've come up above it. So we have confirmed that this golden ratio support level, or the resistance level that we've been under for months, 2,742, is now a significant support level. And we're moving away from the support. So we might not retrace back down to this level, but I would be doing exactly what I said for Bitcoin. Come down into your 15-minute, have a look at your 4 EMA. Yes, look, we're bullish. Blue, green, yellow, red. Let's see if on a smaller time frame we've got any crosses. Blue, green, yep, still bullish there. 3 minutes. We've got a little bit of a cross starting to happen, but it hasn't happened yet. And then on the minute, this is more bullish than Bitcoin. Look, it might not come back.
Seriously bullish, yeah. That's a
so you might
chart.
just you might, like, in that case, what I do is I just put in a really small trade with small leverage so that I get in. Look, it's coming down, so I get in a good position, and then if it does retrace, I will just add to it and then up the leverage. But if it doesn't retrace, at least I'm in and I haven't missed it, right? And where are we on the Ichimoku? Because this is just taking off. If this is red and this stays red for the hour, this could be a bull flag forming, in which case it'll consolidate for 4 or 5 hours. Ichimoku.
Or occasionally for 4 or 5 days. we once in a while got bull flags that just never broke, right? And they eventually do, but yeah, I think the average is probably
coming down, so there might be a good. And look on the Ichimoku, see how there's a dip here? So we could see a dip, and when it dips and then it turns back up again, that would be a really good entry point to be in for that, as long as the RSI is not overbought. Here we had a bearish divergence which played out. We had a bullish divergence right under it, which is now playing out, so that's something to watch. Any questions, guys? We'd love your comments.
Yeah, let me just go over and see if anybody's got any questions.
I haven't seen them say hi.
Feel free to type into the chat if you've
I'm just going to turn my volume up a little bit because I can hardly hear you over the rain, Teresa.
Yeah, sorry about that, guys. We're having a good old tropical rainstorm here in Costa Rica. I turned my Blue Yeti off because it picks up too much of the extra noise. So sorry about the sound quality today. Yeah. But that'll be good. Everything will be uber green after this one. So we get gorgeous weather here. It's usually like stunningly beautiful at sunrise to mid-afternoon, and then all of a sudden, once in a while, we get these massive rainstorms. But we usually get a rain shower in the afternoon.
Yeah, we're usually in the afternoon, and it's come a little bit early today. So for XRP, we actually broke out of this big pattern before Bitcoin and Ethereum did, actually. You can see, just follow the yellow lines, not the pink one. The pink line there is just for my, it's for my mind, my mental note. This is a descending narrowing wedge. We do have a lot of white space here, but still we have been respecting these support and resistance lines. We've now broken above it, and we've confirmed it by coming back down a little bit, and now we're going above the breakout. We're just above the breakout, the original breakout candle, which is the time to enter the long, which will take us to $1.96. Remembering we have a tremendous amount of resistance between 86 cents and $1.06 to $1.07. Lots of resistance to break through to get up above that. But this is a really big trade. And before we got onto the live stream, Teresa and I were joking about how XRP is the Usain Bolt of the crypto industry. And if you don't know who Usain Bolt was, he was a sprinter that used to bolt ahead of people, an Olympic champion in Jamaica. So see this, XRP just bolts, and the indicators aren't always a good thing to see that happening. So you really need to be watching the price action and get a really good feel for the price action.
Yeah, the thing that's really interesting to me about XRP is, like, historically, like the MACD, you could not use the MACD to predict market tops or market bottoms for XRP because it is a bolter, right? But it seems to be following Bitcoin and Ethereum more closely in the last 6 months than it ever has before. So that's an inquiry for me. It's like, XRP or Ethereum and Bitcoin are acting more like a mainstream coin now, right? Like they're behaving in a much more predictable way. And I wonder if XRP isn't starting to really come into the mainstream. And in another, 4 to 6 months, we might see it as not so much of a bolter and behaving a little normally, as there are more commercial buyers, more over-the-counter buyers, more people just using XRP instead of just being the XRP army, really keeping the price action going on XRP,
One of the good things about XRP, which I absolutely love and adore trading, is especially now that it's under $1, the rain stopped, is that for every XRP you win on a trade in a year's time, or even at the end of the year, it could be $30, it could be $50, but it could also be $100. Like something wacky may happen when this whole SE lawsuit is over, because XRP has so much utility. It's kind of like a stock that is just going from strength to strength to strength, that we may not see a typical market cycle for XRP. So every XRP you win on your trades right now could be potentially $100, and then it could be $1,000 in the next cycle, right? So that has a tremendous amount of capital value for you as we go. Now we are going up to 88 cents as the first take profit, on the way up to $1.96 for those patterns. And as far as an entry is concerned, it's exactly the same, folks. This line here of the big bull flag that we were in on the 4 hour, we have not come back to retest it as support. But then, as we said, XRP is often a bolter and it doesn't often come back to retest. So this is where we really need to be looking at the indicators to let us know, are we going to get a retracement? So if you're looking at entering, especially going into the weekend, I would be looking at the exact same formula as before, going into the 15-minute and start going down into the 4 EMA to find out, we're looking bullish, right? Where is it? What time frame are we looking at? And then just watching it like a hawk. And when it dips, get in, maybe do a smaller trade. And then in case we do have a bigger retracement, and then enter there. But this looks like it is actually, the blue and the green line look like they're getting ready to cross on the 5 minute. They have crossed on the 3 minute. So that just means that in the next 3 minutes, we're going to have downward price action. So you could get a lower entry point. And then on the 1 minute, in the 1 minute we've crossed. So we are looking at getting and it's just a small time frame. It's not a trend change. It's just the general up and down of the trend here. So then we bring in the Ichimoku Cloud. And look at that. On the Ichimoku Cloud, we've got a temporary dip, and then boom, we're going to start going back up again. So literally within the next 6 minutes, it might be a good idea to put in a long and do your risk management. So lastly, we were just going to quickly do ADA, because ADA is also breaking out of its big pattern. It's been in a triangular formation here. If you count the wicks, it's also been traveling up in a rising wedge. But look, we're above the line on the daily. $1.39 is the support level. So now let's have a look and see. This is the support level here. right there, we could come back down and retest that as support. Look at this. Over the next couple of hours, there's a bit of a dip here for ADA. So that would be a good entry because the target for this is up at $1. I put $1.57, but normally if you're going to do targets, you want to come down a few pips just in case we don't reach the top of the market. There is also a bigger pattern here too. See this bigger triangle? And we've broken out of that. We've reconfirmed it. So we're actually in process of reaching that target, which is $2.19, which is starting to get up towards the last all-time high. And of course, obviously, we go past that, we're in price discovery. And I think $8 is the price prediction most optimistically this season for ADA. Anything to add on that before we just go into talking very briefly about weekend trading?
No, that looks really solid. I think the only thing I'd mention is looking at the DIDIBAMs really confirms. I like to use the DIDIBAM on the 1 minute to confirm my entries because it gives me such solid entries. So, and it's just showing the buy signal for XRP right now, although it looks like it might turn around. So,
yeah. Which is why it's good that if you're not sure, you can always just put in a small trade and small leverage and then get in at the lower price so that you average down your entry point, right? But it's not the best way to enter the trade. The best way to enter the trade is a confirmed breakout with volume and all the indicators are bullish. But in this market, we've got a lot of Hussein Bolts.
yeah.
You go, darn, I missed it. So,
and sometimes if you miss the entry, it's okay to just wait.
Yeah.
You know, like sometimes that's the best way. Preserve your capital. Preserving your capital is as big a part of trading as making the right trades, right? Because sometimes if you enter too late, you're just not getting a solid entry point, and then the next bear flag takes you out, you know? So it's worth thinking about.
Yeah. So in a few hours, we want to make a mental note of where the price of Bitcoin was at when the CME closes. Because when it reopens on Sunday, if there's a gap, that's going to be an indication of if price action is underneath, we could go up to close it. And we just closed last week's CME gap. So normally CME gaps, if they're going to close within the first week, sometimes even the first 30 minutes on Sunday. So I want you to write these time frames down, convert it into your time frame to watch over weekend trading when volume comes out of the market. It's the retail market, and price manipulation can happen a little bit more. And we want to be looking at CME closes at what time? It might actually already be closed. Is it 10 or 11 Central Time?
I think it's 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock Central. So, you know what? Let me double check that.
So we're going to do these times in Mountain Time, okay? So at 3 o'clock, between 2 and 3 o'clock US Mountain Time, which is 3 or 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time.
1:45 on Friday, so they close early on Friday.
Close at lunchtime, yeah. Okay, so let's back up. CME closes 1:45 Central Daylight Savings Time. That means volume comes out. We create a leveling off of where the price of Bitcoin is at, so that when we open on Sunday, we're going to know if we open above that price or below that price. It's possible we may come back to that price to close that gap. So that's number one. Number two is...
So that's in a half hour, just so that for those of you who don't know how to,
Great.
So for those of you who are watching live,
So then 4 o'clock Eastern Daylight Savings Time, the New York Stock Exchange closes. But even a couple of hours before that, which is basically in the next hour or so, we start to see volume come down in the trading, and if anything is going, it just you'll start to see the price action slow up. But every now and then a whale can come in and just and just slam in or slam out right as the market is about to close, and surprise everybody. So watch that, because weekend trading is all about watching out for manipulation. 6 o'clock Mountain Time, which is are we 2 hours behind New York, or are we 1 hour behind?
We're 2 hours behind New York.
Okay. Yeah. So 8 o'clock standard New York's Eastern Daylight Savings Time, which is midnight in the UK. No, it's midnight UTC time. The UK is on GMT at the moment or something, isn't it? Anyway,
Yeah.
midnight UTC time. That is when the daily candle prints and Tokyo and Hong Kong start trading, retail traders, and then an hour later, Shanghai opens and the retail there. So we no longer have the institutionals. But remember, Asians aren't Christian or Jewish, so they don't have the Saturday, Sunday are religious, or Friday, Saturday, Sunday are religious days, right? So you can get bigger traders coming in and trading. So we can see a flurry of activity down or up when those markets come in. The next time frame to watch out for is so be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11 o'clock on Saturday morning, Eastern Daylight Savings Time is when we can either see a dump or a pump. If we start trading sideways, that then we may have a consolidation Saturday, and it may start trading very, very slowly. However, remember, if we've pumped on a Friday, sometimes Saturday morning is the correction. So just watch those times. Just basically, this just means be aware at those times. Be looking at your trades, have your indicators, and know your plan on what you're going to do if it goes this way or it goes that way. And then on Sunday, when CME opens, usually volume starts coming in at about 2 o'clock, because that's Asia, that's APAC opening, and institutional buyers come back into the market from the APAC countries. Then at 4 o'clock Mountain Time, which is 6 o'clock New York time, right? Eastern Daylight Savings Time. Then you get the CME opening, and we will know whether we've got a gap or not. And then the same times, as I mentioned before, with the Asian markets, which is 8, 9, and 10 on a Sunday, is when massive price manipulation can happen.
Yeah, lots of good time frames to watch for there, guys. That's a really good analysis, Nicola.
Yeah, you want to have a card with all of those time frames on. You might want to rewind once we finish, which we're going to finish up in just a minute, and then do get ready for being watchful at those times. Just to finish up on, if you're not aware, we do have a Conscious Crypto event for traders. It's the first event in the world just for crypto traders, all about trading. We're doing workshops, expert panels. We've got some of the biggest YouTubers coming to be more interactive with you. It's on Zoom. So we're going to be doing some networking as well. It's 3 days of intensified putting strategies together, making sure you've got the right altcoins, the right mindset, getting ready for the super cycle so that you can become a legendary trader, living a legendary life without losing it all in taxes, because we're going to be doing offshore, how to set yourself up internationally to go offshore, and also how to live without fiat currency, if that's something you're interested in. Early bird tickets expire in a few days, so you're going to want to get it today. The link for that is in the description below. I'm also going to put it in the comments. Do you want to say anything about this while I'm just typing in that for now, Teresa?
This is a fundraiser for our community here in Costa Rica. So A, we really appreciate those of you who've already bought tickets. B, I've talked to so many of you that lose more than this on a single trade, right? And if you're still losing trades, invest in yourself, invest in your learning, right? You don't become a brain surgeon without going to university. And in most professions, even when you've gone to university, people still keep training themselves. They still keep investing in conferences and workshops and lessons so that their learning level and their skill level continues to go up. You know, that's why Nicola and I are often referencing people we're watching, right? We invited the people we most want to learn from here because these are some of the most solid people we know in this industry. So we're really excited about this event. We can't wait to see you there.
And I've just dropped the link in the comment section before. So for those of you who are still here with us all the way to the end, thank you so much. I love people that stick around to the end because sometimes you get the gems that other people don't because they've got distracted and gone off to do something else. Link is in the comment section, and we will see you on Monday. We're now doing live streams for market analysis, price analysis, mindset on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And we're uploading tutorial videos teaching you technical analysis and mindset training every day of the week. So every day a new video is up. So you want to subscribe, hit the bell, click all so you get notified when we do that and when we go live, as well as we'd really appreciate it if you liked what we're having saying and you're getting value out of this. Definitely give yourself some new karma credits by clicking that like button. Cool. And until we meet again,
Trade consciously.
bye-bye.